Lucas, you called me fat this week.
I did not call you fat.
You said something along the lines of, "I cannot go out in public."
Well, you said that. You said someone that Waz was interviewing was flubby or whatever.
Man, he was described him as a unit. This man just looked flabby and not a unit.
I just said that you're just mad that you can't go outside with your gut out.
I can go outside with my gut. I don't care. I have no self-respect.
People will be like, man, damn, that guy has a great gut. I'm jealous.
Welcome back to the I Think Podcast, our weekly podcast here on YouTube.
Not really weekly right now.
Somewhat weekly, as well as audio apps. Thank you for joining us this evening, watching and listening. Massive day of football and massive day of just world news in general. We're going to try and get through it all and give our thoughts and opinions. Of course, there's only one place to start, Lucas.
Yeah,
The World Cup draw.
Yeah, I'm Greg. Hi.
Oh yeah, I should introduce. That is Greg. We got Lucas.
Yo.
And I am Liam. Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes I forget that people actually care about who we are.
I mean, yeah.
I don't care about who we
Audio
are.
listeners can't see who's talking.
Wallahi.
Yeah, the one
Yes.
that sounded real dumb is
Yeah,
Liam.
you know, that's usually me. Anyways, World Cup draw was made. Canada are involved.
Yep, incredible.
It was great to see.
Took long enough to get to it.
I was getting a little nervous there. I gotta be honest with you. I was a little nervous.
I was talking about the draw itself.
I'm
There's so
talking
much
about
stalling.
Canada in general. I was getting, oh god, we lost our first game of this round of qualifying. I was like, don't blow this.
No,
Gregory, I've watched Canada for years blow it. 8-0 versus Honduras comes to mind.
They were not blowing that, like, considering.
Yeah,
We
but I'll
got
talk
there.
about that later. But the
They
draw-
lost on purpose so they could win at home. They could get it at home.
Sure. But we have the draw to talk about.
I know.
Incredible draw. I think it was it's one of the most balanced groups I've seen.
I love it.
There's a couple of good groups.
Yeah.
But like it's you don't go look at these groups and say there is a for sure group of death. You don't just do that.
I think there's two that really catch my eye for competition levels, and I think anyone can advance out of these groups. We will see. We're going to go through each of these groups now, and we're going to kind of give our thoughts and opinions from all of them, and we're going to...
Early predictions?
Sure, do you want to predict who goes through or just who tops them?
I mean, just in general, what your feeling is right now. We obviously will
Just
probably
do, like, a
make
little-
predictions
Yeah.
closer to the tournament itself.
So
like
let's
actual
go
predictions.
through-
We can just do like like this is how I'm gonna predict the group
Yeah.
or
And
whatever.
plus, technically, not all the teams are in the groups yet because there's still
Yes.
intercontinental playoffs.
yeah,
and European
you're
playoffs.
Scotland could
Yeah,
still
your
make
team.
it. I don't know what's going to happen with
those
our
are
game
those are
against
big
Ukraine. I don't
those
know
are
what's
big
going to happen.
games. Yeah, those are big games. We'll don't know what's gonna happen, but
Group A consists of host nation Qatar. Of
That
course,
was a
they
big shock that they got picked first.
Well, yeah, huge, crazy. But they are host nation. They are a pot one team. They are top seed in this group. They also consist of Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador. I like this group.
Yeah, I think these are all strong
I
teams.
like this
I
group.
mean, Qatar, they won they did fairly well in the
Mhm.
recent years. I don't think they're the strongest team in this group.
People are
Obviously
going to
not.
look at Qatar as they're going to be an easy victory, but I don't think you can go
you're
into
playing
this.
in Qatar. Like
Yeah.
if you go back quickly to 2018, Russia was very good in Russia.
You have to remember that this World Cup is going to be in a warmer climate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Qatar, even though it's in the winter, it's still warmer than probably a lot of summers in Europe.
Yeah.
So I think this World Cup might, help teams like Ecuador, like Senegal.
Yeah. I think Senegal actually could top this group.
Yeah, dramatic how they got into the World Cup.
Wild.
Yeah, it was
Like,
crazy.
A rematch of the AFCON final and the same result.
I actually think African qualifiers could be the best qualifiers I've seen ever.
They were wild.
Like there was just so many results that just went to the very, very death kind of thing. I was like, what's gonna happen?
It actually is what
It was
happened.
free to watch on YouTube. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize
neither
that.
did I.
I
So
wish-
you told us it was like extra time in the last game. I was like, I guess I'll turn it on, and thankfully I did because it was wild.
But yeah, Senegal, they defeated Mo Salah's Egypt in a penalty shootout. Egypt getting beamed with green lights.
Yeah, that was.
That sucked for them.
But apparently, it was happening in the first leg. So
Yeah.
two Senegal's
Senegal.
players.
I think Senegal can actually top this group. I know the Dutch are very good and they've had a decent enough qualifying campaign, but I'm gonna put money on Senegal to top this group.
It's tighter. I think Senegal's pretty happy to be in this group. I'd say though. I think it's a good group for them to
We
get
don't talk
into.
about Ecuador, but I think Ecuador.
Ecuador has some good talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Hinchapi is a pretty good defender for Leverkusen. They got decent attackers as well. I know we have in our Twitch streams at the very least, Daddy Smack, Epa, they're Ecuadorian. They love Ecuador, so
Gang.
they've
Yeah.
told us some things about them.
Bring back
And-
Ener Valencia.
And they're once they changed their coach, they were able to really cruise through qualifying, but
Pick up form and actually, hit
So-
some stride. Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's gonna be interesting to see how they perform. And then Netherlands, first World Cup since 2014, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Louis van Gaal as manager.
And I think the Dutch actually have okay players. I mean, of course, center back pairing are very, very good. Van Dijk and De Ligt. You got Memphis up top. You have a lot of young talent in the midfield.
Yeah, they got a talented side. I think
Donny
they
van
still
de
have the
Bench.
goal scoring problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think Memphis can do it all by himself, but
Mullen, he's also not like an out and out goal scorer. Very good with us
Mhm.
with another striker, but
They just have a solid squad, honestly. It's just
I don't think they're a World Cup winning squad. But I think they're
no. But the thing is,
maybe a
what we've
quarterfinal.
learned, any team can do damage
was
here.
the Dutch they're not to win the World Cup in 2014?
Yeah,
They had a bunch of players that were not necessarily mainstream in Europe
Mhm.
at that time. A lot of players from the Dutch league, like De Vrij, Dali Blind, Stillison, and several others.
Sillerson.
I mean, there was
What a guy.
pretty sure there was a guy who might have came from who ended up at Stoke City.
Sure, but I mean, I think the Dutch will. Whenever the Netherlands are involved in a World Cup, they're always involved and they're always in the conversation. So
Yeah,
we'll see how this group plays out. But I really have a feeling about Senegal right now. They got some vibes.
They're a
Senegal
good team.
vibes.
they're a very
Sadio
good team.
Mane, he deserves some love.
I think in their second leg against Egypt, there's a guy on Senegal that missed 2 easy chances. I'm like, bro, how are you missing these?
And I think people are going to say, "Oh, it's too bad Mohamed Salah doesn't make the World Cup with Egypt." I think Senegal is actually a better team all around. I think they deserve more to actually qualify for the tournament. And
It'd be kind of odd if the champions of Africa
Yeah.
weren't there. I don't know. It's
But,
kind of funny
I'm
like
just
that.
more happy Mohamed El Neni is not there.
That's harsh on
I don't like
Mohamed
Mohamed
El
El
Neni.
Neni's.
Anyways, Group B.
Group B, this group
Yeah.
consists of a couple of heavy hitters. We got England, USA, Iran, and then we have the winner of the UEFA playoffs, which could be Wales,
or
Scotland,
Ukraine.
or Ukraine.
Originally, Saudi Arabia got picked in this,
Really?
but
But
then
they cannot because of Iran.
yes, so that would have been an interesting group.
yeah.
So England, I've already seen it, and I absolutely love it. English media, oh, this is the dream group for England. We can cruise
mean-
past this game. We can rotate our squad as we play through the group, and we can rest bodies for the bigger matches that come to head. And then we're gonna play France in the next round. Holy shit! The draw was made 32 minutes ago. You're talking about the next round already.
France would
Hold
be in
on.
the quarters, I think.
Well, it was whenever they are on a collision course with France eventually,
Mhm.
if the draw goes correctly, kind of thing. But the thing is, don't underestimate the USA.
It's football versus soccer.
USA have talent, and if they can get their shit together, like we've said for the past 4 months here, qualifying. If the USA get their shit together,
They're
they
a
can
very
play.
good squad, yeah.
They have a good upcoming squad. They're also the youngest squad on average age to qualify for this tournament, based on the last squads from the international break.
Canada can't be far behind them.
Their US was like 24.6 average age. I think the Canada was around 27.2.
It's Milan Borjan and
Atiba, they
fuck
kind of bring it
They
up.
fuck it.
They bring it up a bit.
But
Scotland could be playing England at a World Cup. We
or
played them at the
Euros, and now we could
or
get.
Wales. It could be Gareth Bale's last hurrah.
As much as I love Gareth Bale and Wales,
I mean, did you see him in that game?
Please
He was
don't
brilliant.
do this.
He was
Hey,
brilliant.
we played Poland.
This is
Shit
honestly,
the bed.
honestly-
We played Austria. Shit the bed.
I love this group. This group's actually just like
Iran, who finished very high. I think they finished top in World Cup qualifying in their group.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean,
I think they only conceded. They didn't concede.
yeah,
that
they
many
were very
goals.
good. But
England will dominate this headline. The headlines of this group, of course. USA will do what USA does, and they'll shout the loudest, and they'll get hurt a little bit. But
then if Scotland gets in there, or Wales, yeah, and Ukraine, like,
I mean, whether it is Scotland, Wales, or Ukraine, I think all three of those teams can compete for top spot in this group.
Yeah.
About Iran.
I gotta say, I don't know much about Iran. I
Fair
have not
enough.
watched a single second of Iran.
Well, you know who does? Cheyenne from Next Generation
He
podcast.
does. Shout out Cheyenne.
I know he wanted USA in the group because he isn't the biggest fan of the USA, at least the national team fans. So he wants to, see Iran shut them up.
I think USA for this World Cup, and I'm going to toss Canada in this conversation as well. This is a pre-show. You know, you have this World Cup. It's incredible that Canada made it. The USA should be making all the World Cups. But this is let's figure out players who can be there for 2026 when we host. Let's start a development. Let's start a system going, get some experience. I think USA should get out of this group.
You never know.
I think, I mean,
Ukraine
Scotland.
could be
If the
there.
players that they
No.
have and the quality that they have, and of course, we're 8 months away. A lot of things can happen. Injuries can happen. Fitness can happen. Form can happen. Anything. We all know about this. They should be able to, if they can play at the peak that they should have,
Mhm.
they can do it.
Yeah, and like I said, the three teams, whether it's Scotland, Wales, or Ukraine, all three of those teams can get involved in this group, and all three of those teams can definitely.
We've seen all three
points.
of those teams do good.
I think,
Scotland do well against England, roughly. Sometimes, maybe in a tournament they do.
but yeah, I think that's another balanced group, really.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like obviously a stronger team, but fairly balanced throughout.
Group C.
Ooh.
I like Group C as well. Argentina,
I like
Lionel
all the
Messi.
groups.
We got Mr. Mexico. You got
Raul.
Polska and Saudi Arabia. Now, again, Lionel Messi will dominate and Argentina will dominate headlines of this group. Poland, you're a one-man team, but let me tell you, he's damn good. And he might be able to do it.
Hey, I didn't have,
Mexico.
That was a nice pen.
look, those that don't know, which I'm part Polish. I'm Polish heritage. My parents were Poland.
I just love Poland.
But yeah, I watched the qualifying match against Sweden.
Sorry, can I like go through some of our messages and see what you said about Poland after you said I love Poland?
Big up Polska. Listen, all the TikTok comments said Sweden was better.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that?
Sweden was better until the goal was scored.
Okay.
Because Sweden did create two very good chances, which they didn't score. You got to take the chances you have.
Yeah.
Forsberg on the left side, he needed to put it into the bottom right corner. Didn't put it far enough, and Jonesden made a great save.
Szczesny.
And then Sweden had another good chance. You could say Sweden, yeah, they had more possession. They made slightly more chances, but Poland stayed in the game, and Poland didn't bottle it.
How many times does a team dominate a game and lose?
Yeah.
It happens a lot. It's
Like-
football. That's just it
And
happens.
Sweden, they shouldn't complain. There's been many times in the past where they didn't dominate possession against teams, and they ended up winning the game. So
Yeah.
I say, like, whatever. Like,
and exactly. Yeah.
It might get yelled at this.
Oh God.
I don't have much faith in Poland at this World Cup.
Hey.
I look at Robert
I thought you said
Lewandowski.
I was gonna yell at you, but no.
I'm afraid of him. I think Robert Lewandowski is in such incredible form. I just don't know if it's enough. It's a tough group.
Look,
It's
I
a
was
very
impressed
tough
by
group.
Poland's performance against Sweden. They showed a lot of spirit that sometimes isn't shown enough by
Mhm.
previous Polish sides. Now, if the tradition goes how it usually does, we lose the first two games and we defeat Argentina in the last group game.
Is that how it is? Do you play Argentina last?
Yeah, we do. I think it's I think it's first, then Saudi Arabia, then Argentina. And
According to Waz, Argentina's going to win this World Cup. Waz is dead set certain this is Lionel Messi's time. I am not in that same boat at all.
I think they're a little undervalued in this. I think they've
They've had a decent qualifying
had a
campaign.
very good qualifying campaign.
Not as
They
good as
won the
Brazil.
Copa America.
Not as good as Brazil.
They
Brazil
beat
is,
Brazil in the Copa
I
America.
think Brazil is the best team in the world right now.
Well, we're almost there.
Liam, I think a lot of people agree with that.
FIFA does.
FIFA, they're now number one. Belgium. I don't fucking get how Belgium are.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Argentina have more of a team compared to the previous iteration. They have a coach that has a good group together. There's less drama. It feels like it seems like there's less stress.
He's
It's not 2018 World Cup.
it's not Pitbull on the sidelines anymore. That guy was something.
2018 Argentina was
It's always been coaching
something.
issues though, because it was what's his name,
Sampaoli?
Pauli, and before there was Maradona. Let's be honest.
Maradona was 2010.
2010,
They made
yeah.
the final in 2014.
With who was manager?
Remember his name?
He came.
one that did
He
the
actually
best
did well. He fucked off.
He's a legend. He fainted during the World Cup.
Did he actually?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was a clip of him fainting
Wild.
after they scored a goal or something.
Interesting.
I've never seen that.
So other teams in this group, obviously Saudi Arabia, they did not have a good World Cup in
No.
the previous iteration. Terrible opener.
Yeah.
Even though that was Waz's dark horse.
Yeah. Mexico. We've watched Mexico live. We also follow them through World Cup qualifiers in CONCACAF. They've not had a very easy time of qualifiers.
They did finish with the same points as us, as Canada.
Yes, but,
But
they
they also-
struggled to do it.
Yeah, they struggled, and it doesn't seem like this is the best Mexican team. Some are saying this is the worst Mexican team since the '86 edition. Like, well, since Mexico's been at the World Cup, really.
My thing is also though, like you said, there is 8 months still. A lot can happen. A lot can change. Form can come in. We saw Raul Jimenez as not Raul Jimenez that we know, and of course his injury is going to play huge into that. Maybe
He's
in 8
been
months'
better, but,
time,
like, he's
it gets
starting to get better and
exactly.
better.
Yeah,
And yeah, you don't want any injuries to happen, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's a tough
It's
group.
a sport.
I can't call second in this group. I can call first, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but second. I have not watched a single second of Saudi Arabia. Do I know much about them? No.
But Saudi Arabia could. It's like because it is in Qatar. Like
Yeah.
right.
Not 100 million miles
advantage.
away from home.
I
Exactly.
mean, Lewandowski maybe doesn't like having that much of a tan.
SPF 99 for Team Poland. Let's go. Anyways, on to Group D. We've got France,
Oui.
Denmark, Tunisia, and the winner of the AFC versus CONMEBOL playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Who could that be?
AFC, that's either Australia or United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
And CONMEBOL is Peru.
Peru. Shout out to Peru, baby.
On the wall.
They are on the wall. They're finally up there. It's been only like 5 years
I
since
mean,
got
I
that
like
scarf.
France, Denmark, and that's because that's game 1 too for that group, right? 'Cause
Again,
that's
No, I think so. I think that's game 2.
is it game 2 of Denmark. Maybe they were third for that.
The funny thing about this draw, none of the top 2 teams got drawn as insert letter number 2.
Did none of them happen?
1, 2, 3, 4. And they can
Yeah,
all of them were either most of them were drawn third, or and
One of
2
them
were
was a
drawn
four.
fourth.
I thought Denmark was second. Maybe they
No.
weren't. Okay, but I mean, we know what Denmark can do. They
know Denmark has
killed
quality, yeah.
qualifications.
Yeah.
They had a great Euros.
Yes.
Tunisia,
Can they do it again?
they have
though?
a couple players.
Yeah.
You never know.
I think these African national teams, like, they can always give you a good fight, and I think Tunisia, they do have a few young talents coming up. I think I might have to look this up, but I think they made the Arab Cup final and lost to Algeria in extra time. I searched that up.
Algeria. Make me laugh.
While he's doing that though, and then who do you think is going to be there though? Australia, or what do you think?
I
about that?
actually think it's gonna be Peru. I think Australia has not had a great qualifying campaign. The fact that they're not automatic qualifiers, they had to go through the playoff. And United Arab Emirates are not the worst. They didn't finish far off of Australia, if I remember my Oceanica table correctly. I'm gonna go for Peru though. They're in the last World Cup. You never
I'm
know.
gonna have to agree with you. I've not heard a lot of Australian football or soccer, whatever.
Tom
they call it down
Rogic
there.
is not the Tom Rogic of before. No Ange Postecoglou. That's the issue.
I've heard a lot of Australian fans not be optimistic about this side. They don't like the coach. They don't think there's enough good talent coming through in recent years. And I've read a lot like last year where not really enough talent coming through Australia. And the talent that do come through, they don't really flourish their potential.
Yeah, Daniel Arzani comes to mind. Fuck that guy. Remember Daniel
Tore his
Arzani?
ACL, didn't he?
Yeah, that guy he's supposed to have such a career. He just did shit all. He did nothing.
Yeah.
Where is he now? He's still at Man City. I
Want
bet.
me to look?
Yeah, where is Daniel Arzani spending most of his days now?
Daniel Arzani, like he was on one of the next generation lists
He
from
was
the
supposed
Guardian.
to be the next huge thing.
He is currently playing in the Belgian First Division B or Lomel SK. I think that's in the second tier.
Who the fuck is that
He's
guy?
on loan from Manchester City.
He's on loan again. It's fucking under Patrick Roberts. I feel bad for Patrick Roberts, by the way. That guy's on loan at Sunderland. Oh.
And by the way, Tunisia, yes, they did make the final of the Arab Cup. They do have, I think they have a guy on Manchester United that looks like he has like a lot of hair.
Hannibal.
Yes,
Do you want to know why I know that?
FIFA.
Yeah, he's on my team.
I know he gets good in FM.
He's real good. He got great long shots. Anyways, Group E, which is my group of death. Germany, Spain, Japan, and the winner of CONCACAF versus OFC playoff, which would be whom?
CONCACAF is Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
And
New Zealand.
Oceania is New Zealand. Yes, great. Would have been Solomon Islands, but New Zealand smashed them.
All right, man.
I wish it was Solomon Islands. That'd be sick. But New Zealand, aka Chris Wood FC, I think Costa Rica's got that spot.
Well, there's a guy on Solomon Islands. I know they're not in the World Cup or even have a chance. But
You know what the guy that scores all their goals?
yeah, Rafael Liete.
The guy scores all their goals.
Like,
Gotta score goals.
If Solomon Island scores a goal, it's this guy.
me,
Shout out to that one TikTok page. Did it come up with your recommended?
for what?
There's these two guys that have a podcast and they are just weirdly knowledgeable about Oceanica teams. They know the Cook
Fair enough.
Islands.
They enjoy it.
Tahiti.
I only know about this.
But Costa Rica's been in good form.
they
They've
have
been
been
in good form.
Oh,
in
yeah.
CONCACAF.
Rafael Leao is the guy's name from Solomon Islands. Plays for Henderson Eels.
Yeah.
In
legend.
4 starts for Solomon Islands or 4 appearances, he has 4 goals. For Henderson Eels in the top division of the Solomon League, 34 appearances, 69 goals.
The guy's nuts. Like,
What a
He's
monster.
only 18, so
sign him up.
future championship star.
But
Germany,
group of death, I mean,
Spain, Japan. Japan's a good team. Kyogo, baby. He's back. Kyogo's
the men
back.
from the boys from Japan.
Problem with Japan, I've heard, is that their coaches, some fans don't really like him, and they don't think they make the most out of Japan.
Ange Postecoglou. He could be the Japanese coach one day.
But
I
yeah,
They're-
got to
they're
follow
all-
Kyogo.
Kyogo's been out injured for a while. He hasn't been in qualifying. That's why Japan has been stinky. That's what it is. Germany
Yeah.
and Spain. 2 heavyweights of UEFA.
2 favorites, I'd say, for this tournament.
I think Spain more than Germany, but
Hansi Flick is the coach.
Hansi Flick is the coach.
Yeah,
And Germany
it's
still have a very good squad.
them
just
for
these
2018.
two fighting in this group's gonna be crazy, honestly.
Their defense, I like. Their defense. Their back line is solid. Midfield, you've got players like Gundogan, Havertz, Kimmich in there.
Well, Havertz might be playing
Musiala.
striker.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Havertz is more of a striker than midfielder.
You got Timo Werner though.
I don't think that man
Also
exists
the man
anymore.
from
He's better for Germany than he is for
Germany.
Chelsea, but
Premier League with Chelsea.
Don't forget like Nabry as well. It's like-
Gnabry,
it's-
Sané on the wing.
Yeah,
Thomas
it's-
Muller,
Musiala.
Musiala.
yeah, it's
Brandt.
and then you go to Spain. Spain's just
Spain's loaded. Spain's got a lot of good young talent.
yeah.
Goal, Pedri.
And did you hear about
I'm
Piqué?
I'm looking forward to Pedri at this tournament. What about Piqué?
Says, I'm willing to come out of international retirement.
Well, fair enough.
Just because Spain's back.
But I mean,
I think the one issue that Spain might have is center back pairing. If generally Gerard Piqué wants to come back, I bet you he has a spot.
well, Laporte's there,
Laporte.
and then it's either Pau Torres, who I heard is struggling with
What-
Villarreal. That's what I've
Does
heard.
David Gea like?
Start.
Yeah. What?
No,
They haven't
I,
been
I,
starting.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Unai
sure it's the
Simon.
athletic club keeper
Unai Simon.
I know.
Technically-
Simone has, but like,
technically, David De Gea is not even on their
but then
goalkeeper
all the
roster.
like, I know, but then all the Spanish, like most of the players going like, yeah, De Gea should be here. Or I'm surprised De Gea wasn't
I mean,
called
oh,
up.
the
probably
three
should've been
goalies
called
the 3 goalies they have are Unai Simon of Athletic Bilbao,
Yeah,
Arnau Tenas from Barcelona,
and then they brought up
David Martin from Brentford, Raya.
Well, no, because
Raya,
one of
yeah.
those keepers got brought up because there was an injury, and one of the keepers was with the U21 camp, so they just brought
That'd
him.
be the Barcelona guy then.
Yeah.
Arnau Tenas. But
It-
I think David De Gea probably will make the.
he
the squad.
should, but then like, I mean,
You
I
have
guess
strong fullbacks. You have Alonso, Azpilicueta, Jordi Alba as a strong spot. And then, yeah, you move up Marcos Llorente, Rodri, Pedri, Gavi, Dani Olmo, Koke.
the
Uh,
team is just
Brent Torres, Alvaro Morata.
It's just loaded everywhere.
I don't
It's
think they have
it's a
out-
young team.
Yeah.
I think their striker problem is there obviously with Morata and Gerard Moreno, who for Spain they haven't been consistent enough. They've both missed some good chances at the Euros.
Yes, they did. That's a very good point.
However, you don't always need the most clinical of strikers.
I think
If Spain
their
can really
midfield,
control the midfield, control the game, and play how they want, could be a dangerous
It's
team.
like, did you see the goal they scored against Albania to win it?
No.
It was incredible passing play. And then Olmo receives the ball near the top of the box and curls it far right.
Yeah.
like-
Danny Olmo's a good
Yeah.
goal scorer. He is.
I mean, there's a lot of good goal scorers in the team. It's just like you obviously want that striker that can be at the end of chances and
Yeah.
consistently finish.
Again, who goes through this group? I struggle to call that one.
It's-
I'd say Spain and Germany go through eventually, but
Should. Also, I'm tossing Costa Rica into that mix there. I think they'll win that playoff. I think Costa Rica will be
It's
in
a-
that group.
you say it's the group of death, yeah.
However, you never know who's gonna win. Remember Italy 2010,
Yeah.
where they had Slovakia, New Zealand, and I don't remember the other team in the group, but Italy got knocked out.
Don't
Yeah.
bring up Italy right now.
Group F. The group. Because the boys are there. Team Canada. It's their group alongside Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco.
It's it's weird to think about because on paper it's a tough group, but when you actually think about it, Croatia and Belgium getting a little older, so
If Belgium want to capitalize on this golden generation that has been ranked number one in FIFA rankings for so many fucking years,
yeah,
this is
This
the
is it.
last opportunity
this is it.
to cash in on De Bruyne, on Hazard, on Lukaku, on Thibaut Courtois. This is the
This is
last chance.
Yes.
So, if Belgium can play like we know Belgium can play, they should walk this group. They should probably
Yeah.
go undefeated in this group.
They should.
Croatia, aging a little bit, still I think a very solid side.
Luka
with
Modric
great
still
talent.
fantastic.
I think Croatia should finish second.
I mean, we know what Croatia did
can
in the 2018 World Cup, right?
can
Modric won a Ballon d'Or.
He
Like,
did.
can he do it again? Like
He's not gonna win a
not
Ballon d'Or.
not win the Ballon d'Or again, but like
you have a performance like that in this
Yeah.
tournament? Can Canada get third?
Can Canada get your expectations are that low already?
Yes. Lucas, my expectations for Canada are simple.
we
Score a goal,
I want a goal.
get a point, have a good time.
What would you take first? A 0-0 point, or do you want a goal?
Well, don't we play Belgium first?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our first game is
It-
Belgium.
It is Belgium. Yeah.
I'll take a 0-0. I'll take a
A
0-0.
0-0 would be fantastic.
Good job, Atiba.
I
No, I honestly, I
this-
really
and then
think
you-
Canada. I think Canada's going to get
Morocco is
smacked
still-
up, and I think this could come down to goal difference. I think Canada's going to win. Or sorry, Canada's going to lose that first game against Belgium 4-0. And hopes and dreams are going to go.
we're
Shit,
saying that
boys.
really early. I mean,
We're at
you
the
know
real
what
stage.
Roberto Martino said. Eh?
Roberto Martinez still thinks he's in Everton. For God's sake, that man needs to go away. I don't. Who chose Roberto Martinez to coach this god squad of
We
Belgium?
got to a World Cup semifinal. We're probably unlucky not to make that.
Who cares? They won nothing. They've had the golden generation, the best generation Belgium's ever had in their existence. They've been ranked number one for
Yeah,
so
you know how
long,
many
and they don't deserve it.
How many teams have golden generations that don't win?
Well, get someone in there. Arsene Wenger
Only
was
one
free.
team can win.
Get Arsene Wenger and coaching
French,
Belgium.
He's not going to coach Belgium.
Thierry Henry was their assistant coach is Irish.
Thierry Henry is not Arsene Wenger.
Exactly. Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry could have brought Belgium to the top. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry could have won a World Cup with that team. I fully... No.
Okay, but that doesn't
Anyways.
change the fact that there's golden generations that have been incredible in the past but don't win the tournament. Like, you could say Argentina's team in 2006 was one of Argentina's best teams, but they didn't end up actually they got eliminated pretty early.
They did.
There's Italy. You could say Italy was probably one of the best national teams from like 82 to 2006. They could have won more World Cups with the type of players they had, but they didn't.
Yeah, anything can happen. That's the thing with football. Anything can happen.
I'm just trying to find
like Portugal won the Euros with one of their worst teams of the 21st century.
Yeah.
He's not there anymore.
At least compared to the other teams that had, in the 2000s that had Deco, Figo, and then the team that they have now, which has developed some potential incredible world-class players.
Yeah, it's
Canada.
it's just I still find it like how I said was saying at the beginning. It's a weird group where a lot could happen. Like just it could happen how you don't think it would.
Morocco, we can't underestimate Morocco as well. I mean,
they no longer will be playing Hakim Ziyech because he had an argument with the coach, but
He did.
they have one of the best fullbacks in the world with Hakimi.
Yeah,
that's true.
They have all
Again,
team all
Canada
around.
score a goal, get a point. We're happy. We made it.
I think it goes back to what you were saying with the States.
Yep.
I think Canada's 100% in the same boat.
This
is we're happy to be here. It's awesome to be here. This is our warm up for
that's not what the States.
4 years.
The States would be like, if the States don't get out of their group, it's going to be a disaster for them.
The States should, get out of this
okay.
group. But I'm saying, but they should treat this tournament as let's get some experience on the big stage. Let's see if some of these young players might be for real or not. And you know what? For Canada, it's a good opportunity to get some of these older players the recognition that they deserve of being on a major tournament.
It's
like
also
Borjan, like a
it's
Team
also
Hutchinson.
what John Herman keeps saying. Like this will really get Canada. Like if they can have some good performances, the players on that team will really get some big. They already have
Yeah.
get some big recognition from European
Yeah.
teams.
I actually, you know what I worry about most about Canada? Goal scoring, which sounds wild because they've actually had a good goal scoring record at qualifying. But I just worry if Jonathan David can't put up a couple goals in this tournament. I don't know if Kyle Larin.
Sorry for the weird cut there. Our computer storage filled up, so we had to have a slight pause. We were on Canada and goal scoring.
Goal scoring, yeah. Because I think Jonathan,
I don't see that being our issue.
I-
I don't see goal scoring. I see defense.
I just see the issue of just come up against a better team
Yeah.
and they just overwhelm you no matter how hard you try. And I don't think a 4-0 would happen. Maybe it would, but I think Canada can make games tough for other oppositions and make them really work for the goal. We haven't really seen Canada play against such a high level
Mhm.
opponent before. Like
Yeah,
Mexico and the US are the highest, and
Canada needs to play a couple friendlies.
We're gonna.
against-
They were asking John about that. He's like, "Are you trying to get some friendlies in?" He's like, "It's difficult. It's
I'm sure.
well,
but
yeah.
like he wants to get against a European team, maybe that's similar to how Belgium plays or whatever,
If
or
I was,
South
if I was,
American
if I
team.
was Jonathan Herdman, I would want to play against a country like Peru.
I'd want to play Argentina. Their friendly with Mexico got canceled.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so because they play Mexico in the same group.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Fair enough. Maybe invite them up north, or we can meet them in the States. Who knows? But no, I know what you need to play a friendly at least against a European opposition because really, we have no experience against European teams.
I think what Canada is also hoping for, of course, we haven't qualified. This is the first qualification in 36 years. We want to surprise the teams. We
Yeah.
need to go in there. And I know teams have really taken notice to Canada
Yeah, they-
because of what they've been doing,
Yeah,
but
they interviewed the coaches. They seem like, oh, Canada, we know all about them. We're gonna learn all about them because like they've surprised Canada and Mexico. So
Mhm.
of course these coaches will know.
but they
about
haven't
them.
played them. So like, hopefully they just come out. And you talk about goal scoring, and if other teams have the ball, Canada, they're good on the break.
They're on the
They're a quick
counterattack, yeah.
team, and let's hope they can do it.
I think this tournament will really depend on three players really for attacking wise. I mean, it's simple to say, but is Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, and Tejon Buchanan.
A problem could be defensive set pieces.
I think we really struggle. It like you're saying, defensive set pieces because usually our team doesn't concede that many, but they're dangerous when
Mhm.
the other team gets it.
Yeah.
And I'm always scared watching those. So then when a
Concede
team
some
has
bad
like
goals,
10
yeah.
corners, like we're gonna concede.
Yeah.
That team will concede.
like Lukaku.
Yeah, like-
he'll bully somebody.
Yeah.
Ustak will not be able to handle Lukaku.
But Lukaku hasn't been in good form.
No.
And-
Eden Hazard has not been in good form.
That's the problem with this Belgium team. They have some great players that are performing well, like
Mhm.
Kevin De Bruyne, but then they have several players that
And
just injuries and
something that we
It's just
cannot
unworking
gloss over that much these countries with a lot of European players will be in the middle of a season.
Yep.
So in 8 months' time, like you said, injuries could be a factor, but also fatigue will be a factor. Yes, it's only halfway through the season,
Anything
but middle of
can
the
happen.
season, you're gonna have, especially that Christmas period, you're gonna have a heavy game fixture coming around. Coming off of that into a World Cup, it's gonna be difficult for a lot of these players, and maybe Canada with a couple North American players will be on break already.
Yeah.
You know, there's no MLS games happening in the winter time, so
And just,
you never know.
I don't think we've given enough love to Croatia.
No,
I mean, the team-
Croatia do deserve.
The team literally made the World Cup final
Yeah,
in
they
2018.
didn't have they had an exit against Spain in the Euros
Mhm.
where at least for the first little bit of the game they didn't perform too well, but they got back into it. I think they have some good talent coming through. Like Vardiol is
yeah,
definitely a great defender to have coming up through the years at
Yeah.
his age.
and
And
the Celtic, right? Josip Juranovic.
he has started for Croatia.
I don't know.
I don't know, but
Dejan Lovren's there.
then yeah, a lot of guys are just older, and will they still have the legs to perform? Well, maybe group stages might not be as much of a problem, but maybe the rest of the tournament may be
It
a
is.
problem.
It is an older squad. You got Perisic, Vlasic, Modric, Mateo Kovacic, Brozovic.
I think Vlasic and
Uh,
Kovacic are a good age.
But and then
Haselik.
we talk about old but very experienced
Yes.
players, a team that could really take advantage of a young, inexperienced
Yeah.
Canada team.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone's going to go into this group with expectations any more than maybe third. I know that sounds terrible to say.
You never know what Waz will say.
If Canada can finish third in this group, I'd be beyond happy. I don't think they will.
We're going in one step at a time, and
Be respectful.
respectful. Be it
I
or be
hate.
square.
I hate you.
That's okay.
Hopefully,
shit.
Canada can do well, but let's move on.
Group G, which is another great group, I think. Brazil,
Samba.
Cameroon, Serbia, and Switzerland.
Jeez.
It's a very good group.
It's
Again.
literally the exact same group from the 2018 World Cup. Group E had Brazil, Serbia, and Switzerland, and they had, I think, Costa Rica in the group. But now this time it's Cameroon.
I like this group.
It's
Brazil
the thing,
looks
I think we said we
deadly.
like this group. Like every group is exciting. I love it. It's not just
We're actually not even have my favorite group yet. I think.
I know,
Group H is my favorite
I know, but it's
Asamoah Gyan! Bring him back.
Be patient.
Anyways, Brazil
Brazil is going in
Braceba.
as the favorites. They
Braceba.
probably are the favorites, or I
Braceba.
guess France would be because they're the
Braceba.
latest winners.
Braceba. What are you gonna say? Braceba.
Shut up.
What are you saying?
You ever seen that guy on TikTok?
No.
Lucas, where have you been?
Just-
This guy's the greatest story in TikTok history.
What's the story?
He's some Brazilian guy.
Yes.
He's built like Peter Crouch. The man is just skinny, but he hits wonder goals. He could curl the ball top bit. Anyways. He scores a goal. He has like the biggest freak out. He goes, Braceba! He praises Jesus, all this stuff. Takes his shirt off. A team in Brazil flew him out. He got to meet the team, score a penalty for them. Then he met Neymar, took a bunch of pictures with him. It was the first time ever on an airplane, first time ever eating ice cream. This kid had like the best week of his life. And just all he does is hit wonder goals on TikTok. But yeah, that's Braceba.
Great thing about TikTok. Anyone
Brazil's-
can blow up.
Anyways, I was going back. So Brazil should be the favorites
Yeah.
for this tournament.
Yeah, I think they've
Serbia.
top in qualifying. Some.
I
great-
like Serbia. I mean,
Serbia's a deadly team.
You know
man,
who-
let
you
me
know-
tell you. Yeah,
know who they
Mitrovic is
have
there.
there?
I mean, man.
And Mitro.
Vlahovic.
They do. I prefer Mitro.
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic will be good. I want to see how he does. Don't forget Luka
Mitrovic won't be in the
Jovic.
championship, so he'll be struggling.
Exactly.
He'll actually be in bad form.
Yeah, Mitrovic, Dusan Tadic, Luka Jovic, and yeah, Vlahovic. Vlahovic?
I think it's Vlahovic.
I don't fuck.
But at the same time, Mitrovic was in the top goal scoring list in World Cup qualifying.
he
So it's-
scored the game-winning goal against Portugal.
yeah.
It's a very well organized team. Very good defense. Very tough team, Serbia.
You could say the same thing about
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah,
Switzerland have
exactly.
A lot of good players in their ranks. I mean,
Swiss Army knife.
yeah, Kevin Mbabu.
Yeah.
Is my favorite.
It's a tough group.
Yeah,
And then Cameroon.
They get there at the very end.
Cameroon, the best story of qualifying. Literally, Lucas goes, the game's on YouTube. Shit, let me turn it on. I go, okay, it's extra time. Algeria has scored. They've won it. Great. Good job, Algeria. You shit the bed at AFCON. This is your little redemption story. Wait, never mind. Here comes Cameroon. I love it. They scored their goal, the last kick of the game.
The guy nods it on right to Akambi's foot.
Yeah,
and he just slots it home.
And then the Algeria coach is crying for 20 minutes. He doesn't even leave the stadium and the man resigns. He literally just like, I'm done. I can't. I'm no longer coach of Algeria. I've let the country down. I was like, oh my, what has happened
Algeria
here?
had one of the longest undefeated runs before AFCON.
Yeah.
And then it went.
It just went downhill.
I love when they were celebrating their goal. Like, Algeria scores their goal. They've won it, basically.
Mhm.
Islam Slimani goes down with cramp for at least 5 minutes. They bring a cart. They cart him off. I don't even think he's off the field yet. And Cameroon are scoring their goal to win it. This guy's dying on a cart. Cameroon's going nuts. I was like, what did I just witness here? Like, that was. And then the commentator did not know what was happening.
Yeah,
He
the
goes,
commentary.
he goes, penalties it is. It's like, no, the game's done. Like, it's away goals in
The least
Africa still.
enthusiastic. He just
Honestly,
vibes.
that's been a great goal here for Cameron. Like, buddy, you just witnessed insanity. You can't give me a bit more than. Anyways. Cameroon is going to be exciting to watch in that group.
Yeah, they did
Serbia
fairly
will
well
be
at
exciting.
They did fairly well at the AFCON, and they got some
Yeah.
some fun attackers.
Do you think-
Abubakar, Com.
Do you think this could be Brazil's World Cup?
I think it definitely can be. I think this is probably this is a World Cup where big names and their final moments.
Yeah.
But especially Neymar, who, if he wants to be considered a Brazilian great, he
This
needs
is
to
it.
win this World Cup.
Why is this Neymar's last World Cup? He's only 30.
Well,
It's not this is his last World
Is it-
Cup, but
He
like
said it was going to be his last World Cup.
it could be his last World Cup. He's 30 for the next one, and you know the injuries he's been having. He might not be the same player by the time
You're not.
2026 comes.
but he
by.
still might get in that squad if he's still playing. Maybe
And
you
like,
never
even,
know.
and even if he does get into the next squad and they win it in 2026, he might not play a big part in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone else will be considered the legend. of
This
that
is still this is
Vinicius.
gonna be Neymar. Neymar is
like
still the
I struggle-
star for Brazil.
I struggle to call him Neymar. I just want to call him Sonny in it, nah.
uh,
Every time. Sonny in it, nah.
but I had this conversation. I might have been with Greg, Waz, and Matt, where does Neymar need a World Cup to be considered with those legends of the game? Man, the easy answer is yeah.
Yeah, he
He
does.
needs
Yeah.
to. If he wants to be considered with Pele, Garincha, Romario, Ronaldo.
Ronaldinho.
The World Cup is the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's
You can win 5, 6, 7 Champions Leagues.
But-
I think a World Cup overshadows all of them.
Yeah.
I
the
mean,
like I said, the World Cup is the World Cup. It only happens every 4 years, hopefully.
then, yeah. Then again, I still think Messi needs one. But I don't see Argentina win. I think Brazil's a
It's-
better team. I think
Yeah, we haven't made any
Ugh.
predictions. I don't think we will really, but it's just
this is
this is another. It's just another
It's a good-
great
it's a good
group.
group.
Brazil
Rivalry.
they should take first in this group. Second place though in this group is gonna be a dog
Yeah.
fight.
You're not understanding though the significance of Group H.
Group A. Let's get
Because
to it
listen
because
to me,
Liam's
If Uruguay and Ghana is on the game of the tournament, I know Waz will just cry. Asamoah Gyan will cry. Luis Suarez, he's fucking up there. You can't even see it. Someone needs. I don't know what has to happen. I don't know what has to happen.
Anyway,
Anyways,
so Group
Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, South Korea. Holy shit. I love it. South Korea, you have a
H,
chance.
Sonny.
You have a chance. I watched you at the World Cup last time. I liked you.
Son.
Yeah, he's good.
Sonny.
Ghana, they're always a strong African nation.
They haven't been too
But
strong.
Is
in recent
is
years.
Waz gonna be going nuts about Ghana the entire
well,
time?
Asamoah Gyan's not there, but
Well,
he
the
will
thing
be.
is though, there's some things to consider. Well, Ghana, like I mentioned to you guys, a guy named Fatavu, who's like a teenager
Yeah.
who is really promising for Ghana.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But then, Callum Hudson-Odoi could be called up for Ghana.
Yeah, same with
Lamptey maybe.
yeah, Tariq Lamptey. Yeah, there's a couple. There's
Like
a couple.
those two additions to that team, maybe that changes things a little.
Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew,
I mean, a little old, but
Thomas Partey,
he's
I mean, it's
Dennis Adoy.
and they have some.
Daniel
yeah.
Amartey.
Dennis Adoy. I
There's
saw
some
that. I
decent
was like, what?
defenders. Salisu from Southampton, I believe, is a defender. There.
Dennis Adoy. Let's not
Onana.
talk. I'm a decent defender.
Onana from who's going to play for Inter next
Yeah.
season.
They're honestly, Ghana's a good team.
Oh no, not Onana. I'm
No,
sorry.
Onana's at Cameroon. I was
Oh,
gonna say
I'm like, oh gosh, sorry, I apologize.
triggered. Sorry, Africa.
I'm sorry.
Waka
Because he's on
waka.
your squad. Come on.
Anyways, Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So-
Portugal. It's
They went through the the playoffs for qualifying. They look good. I liked them.
Ronaldo is still Cristiano Ronaldo, but then you think of the team behind him.
Honestly,
Up
I think
front,
Diogo Jota,
Diogo Jota, Bruno. I mean, Bruno is Bruno, and he signed a new
Bru-
contract.
Bruno
Manchester United.
Silva, João Felix.
Ruben Neves.
There's a lot of good players on Portugal,
Aina.
but they still play Pepe in the back line. I don't know if I can
He's been
support.
playing
Well,
well.
he's good.
It's like Argentina playing Nicolas Otamendi. It makes
And
me
that's
mad.
without
Not even
Ru-
close. Pepe has a great legacy.
And it was without Diaz too. You gotta think of Ruben
Dias.
Diaz. It's
Yeesh. Please, you can pronunciation. Diego Dao, Nuno Man,
little man.
João Cancelo. I mean, this is a good team.
It's a-
That's a good team. Rafael Carrera.
They had a rough Euros. They went out of the Euros.
Also, Otavio, the man from Porto. Man, what a playoffs he had for Portugal. Man, really, really good.
It's a very good squad.
It is a good squad. And I think
They had a rough Euros, and they're really gonna look for a bounce back. And Ronaldo wants this World Cup.
what about
So-
Uruguay? They're aging.
Yeah, they
Suarez and Cavani.
could have missed the World Cup, but they sacked longtime coach and
Yeah. The old guy, the really old guy.
Tabern. I should really know his name.
But
Other names that you'll recognize from Uruguay: Maxi Gomez from Valencia, Darwin Nunez from Benfica, Bentancur,
Alvarez, that's his name.
Tavares.
Now the coach is Diego Alonso.
Federico Valverde.
Valverde, that's what I was trying to think.
Lucas Torreira's there. Sebastian Coates.
Can
Jose
Cavani and
Jimenez.
Suarez
Jimenez,
really?
yeah.
Diego Godin still there.
I think some of the younger players that have come up for Uruguay haven't really developed to what was expected. I know Valverde is fantastic, but then other players like Bentancur, he hasn't really gotten on
No.
to a elite
But
level
he's at
yet.
Tottenham.
Maxi Gomez.
You know, he's been actually not horrible
Tottenham.
there.
I mean, again, we say 8 months is a long time. You never know what progression these players can have in 8 months. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're talking about it very early on.
screw so much, but I think it's gonna be heartbreak for Ghana once again. I think South Korea can push teams again. You never know.
I think it's not time for Africa.
If it is time for Africa, it's not gonna be coming from Ghana. It's coming from Cameroon.
Oh, I thought you kind of
Yeah, you're all about Senegal.
Well, Senegal's good too. I love Senegal.
Liam loves Africa.
I love Senegal.
That's why he likes 2010.
I've always been a fan of African nations. Let me tell you, bring back the days of Ivory Coast. Those are the days.
Old Ivory Coast, yes.
South Korea, other than Hunmin Son, who's gonna do their goal scoring,
They've
or who's gonna be their main players to watch?
good players.
Yi Chang Wang from Wolves. He's come on a little bit. He's done all
There's
right.
Kang, former Valencia. I think he plays for Mallorca. I could be wrong.
Come to Mallorca.
Kang Lee.
Which is he? See Kang Lee.
The thing is, we know
we don't
it's like
get- yeah.
Korea and Japan. We know how those teams are. They'll be there and they'll give
Yeah.
you a tough game.
There's Jay Kim, who plays for Fenerbahce.
Yeah, Lee Kang In, his name. Plays for Mallorca. Yeah, I was
Lucas had it right.
The South Korean manager, his name is Paulo Jorge Gomes Bento from Portugal. But I like this group. I think this is going to be a very evenly contested group. I think Portugal's probably the favorite to top this group, but
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
And it goes back to just saying I love the groups. They're
Yeah.
just
I think the worst group is Group B with England and USA.
I think a lot of groups, most of them have an
things
easy
that could
first
be good
place
though.
team.
With the rivalries, it actually
Yeah.
could be good.
I think a lot of the groups have like obvious first place choices for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the
I'd
pot
say,
one
like,
teams.
More than half of them, yeah.
At the same time, though, there's some really exciting matchups to watch.
I still think I gotta agree. Like Germany, Spain, like that is.
And there's always a top team that drops that
Yeah.
just doesn't have a good World Cup and doesn't perform well.
I think each group's gonna have. I mean, yes, you can say it's the pot 1 versus pot 2, but I think Netherlands, Senegal. Then you have England versus potentially Scotland or Wales would be huge. Argentina versus Poland or Mexico versus Poland. France, Denmark would be a great game. Yes, Spain, Germany, Canada's entire group. Every game that they have will be huge for us at least. I'm looking forward to Brazil. I think Serbia.
I don't
is what
even
looking
like.
forward
I'm
to
not
most.
even like taking a dig at Italy here.
I don't miss
Would
them.
Italy have been pot 1 if they were in
Yeah, they would have
Yeah.
probably been there.
Who-
They would have been there instead of Portugal.
Portugal? Okay, so
It would be Italy, Uruguay, Ghana, South Africa, which again still is.
well, of course, if Italy was in there, Portugal, of course, wouldn't be
Yeah.
there because based on how it is. But like, if they were both there, I was just curious
I
how
actually
it would have been
Portugal's more exciting to watch.
than Italy.
Did you not watch Euros? But of course, a lot of change since the Euros.
I mean, yeah, there was a lot of change. They won the Euros, then didn't make the World Cup.
I actually like watching Portugal play. I
Really?
yeah.
I mean, maybe those two games. There's been a lot of games where it's just frustrating to watch them because they don't really make the most out of their high quality players.
Maybe though they're gonna start picking up now because
Take
they
off.
were good in their qualifying there. They're in their playoff.
I know the guy on TSN, the Irish guy.
I can't remember his name.
But he
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, he mentioned like, and I've also heard Jimmy Conrad talk about this too. Like sometimes coaches overstay their World Cup tenure.
Mm.
Like realistically, you probably want a coach who there for like a World Cup cycle and like your Continents Trophy cycle. But like going for a second cycle sometimes is a bit much. And
Look at
there's
France.
yeah, they could. I mean, France, they got eliminated in the Euros.
Well, France are gonna be coming off of the potential curse.
Yeah.
I mean, the curse of the Euros already happened. Italy aren't even here. Well, I don't see France not getting
Struggling,
out of
though.
this group.
Yeah.
It's just if that France squad clicks, it's
On
It's-
paper,
it's-
France should win this tournament.
I think it's just
Brazil could as well. France is
now
good,
that
though.
those points that those two made, I think it's fine. Like with some coaches being in their second World Cup cycle, like Southgate, I think it seems fine.
Yeah.
Chiche, this is the last one, so
Mhm.
I think that's fine. But like the Portuguese coach Santos, he's been there since either 2016 or 2014, and that might be, even though they might have different players, is it enough to really push on Portugal and make a deep run in the tournament?
We
Or
saw that with Netherlands as well. They struggle with coaching.
yeah,
Roberto Martinez done fuck all. Saying
Liam.
Arsene Wenger.
You keep going.
Arsene Wenger.
You keep going
wins
on
it.
at him, and now he's gonna go win the World Cup. He's gonna destroy Canada. He's gonna,
100%. Gregory, if Canada do not lose by
I
at least 3
know,
goals to
I'm
Belgium,
just-
I'll take it as a victory. It's Belgium and Canada. Our backline could consist of 40-year-old Atiba Hutchinson.
he doesn't
He
Actually-
can.
play center back, but
He
he's
can.
not actually their starting center back if full fit.
He is my dad. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Whether World Cup or football or life or anything?
well, we know that club football will be back. Of course, we're recording this on the day of this draw, so we
Yeah.
don't know the results of the matches. But
The-
Liverpool and City are coming up.
That's coming up very quickly.
well, one thing I want to say because the Premier League is going to 5 subs next season,
Yes.
which is great because of the World Cup where it is and when it is.
And,
It'll be
Pep
very
will
nice
still
for
only
that.
use one. Maybe one.
De Bruyne will be unfit.
I think at the end of the day, it needs to happen because how many matches are being played in football nowadays?
It's too
You
congested.
need to have something to evolve, and being able to ship players more around, that just needs to happen. Like back then when they had no subs, literally if you got injured, you went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had 3 subs. They eventually introduced that. I don't know exactly when, but like things like that are needed, and all things like that I think help the game not
Stagnate.
destroy itself.
I just
Yeah.
hope it doesn't get too bad where teams like Manchester City, where they just have unbelievable depth when they're healthy and stuff. It's just I hope that just doesn't
Yeah.
kill it even more. Like they're already dominating, like they are. But then bringing on 5 subs, they got Sterling, Mahrez,
Grealish.
They're
yeah.
all just coming off the bench. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
But that's the thing, and these big clubs now need to focus on, hey, we need to have a strong starting 11, but also a strong bench.
but at the same time now, I like it it allows these smaller teams. It allows bench players, to really have more of a
Yeah.
chance to prove themselves.
Well,
And
prove themselves, but also you can continue playing the way they want to play. Like, because when you're playing like a low block, you have to have a lot of concentration, use a lot of energy to really keep defending and having the work rate to track the players you're defending. I think that helps them bring someone on, freshen it up, and keep the game plan going.
Yeah. You mentioned Premier League coming back. There's some good games to kick it off.
Well, I mean, we don't really need to mention the
Chelsea,
games because they've already
Brentford.
happened.
I get. Well, no, I mean they're
We don't-
happening as it's uploaded.
Yeah.
Uploaded at 5
that's it,
a.m.
Liam.
Chelsea
No,
Brentford.
it's gonna happen. This is out
Chelsea
on Monday.
Brentford's exciting.
This comes out Monday.
When's this?
It's the weekend.
It is today.
It's Friday.
Oh shit! It is Friday. I don't know.
The World Cup draw was just today. That's why we're
Ooh.
Unless you
talking
weren't
about.
available during the weekend.
Oh,
That's a good point. Actually, that's correct. That's correct. I have 2 birthdays.
there was one more thing that I wanted to mention, but then now I can't remember.
Rangers are frauds. That happened. Rangers are getting sued by the country of Australia.
For pulling out of a friendly.
Celtic Rangers supposed to have a friendly in Sydney for some reason. Who knows why? Because Celtic Rangers should never be a friendly. Rangers go, yeah, we're not doing that. I don't care if you already organized this entire thing, sold tickets, we're just not showing up. So now the country of Australia is suing Rangers.
Was Angelic why this got set up and stuff?
It was a Celtic Rangers friendly / the Ange Postecoglou homecoming tour. I was like, all right. But no, supposedly Celtic are still interested in going, so we'll see what they do. And Old Firm is coming up. That's on the 2nd. That will,
The second. So
yeah,
Tomorrow?
tomorrow morning, yeah. Oh shit, it's tomorrow morning.
This guy is so lost.
It was the 3rd. It's the 3rd.
oh.
It's the 3rd.
You know,
I'm
that's
sorry.
still in 2 days.
It's the 3rd. Yeah. It's the 3rd.
So it'll already happen when
Yeah,
this comes out.
April
I
3rd
mean,
at
interesting.
5 a.m.
But yeah, I think a big thing to
Make it up, try and watch it.
Champions League is coming up.
Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about that. You know, Liverpool versus Benfica, Bayern versus Villarreal, Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid, and Chelsea versus Real Madrid. What's your thoughts on the first leg?
I don't know.
I like the draws.
Yeah.
For once, Liverpool get a bit of an easier draw.
I mean, when we made the final the first time with Klopp, we had a somewhat easier draw.
Man City don't get an easy draw, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Well,
Usually-
can Atletico Madrid take out both Manchester clubs?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Who
City
knows?
will win.
Atletico Madrid, I know they were a lot better back then, but knocked out Pep's Bayern when
Yeah.
Pep's Bayern probably should have won that.
Yeah.
Will we get Man City versus Liverpool Champions League semifinal? And
No,
then-
Liverpool can only play Bayern.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's them in the final. Right.
Yeah.
That's
Quite
we get
literally,
that.
Liverpool versus City can battle it out in the Premier League and then just battle it out
in the
Champions League.
Champions
It's like,
League.
oh,
It would
God.
be like.
You're still on for the quadruple.
I take it one game at a time. I'm really
If
nervous
you-
about the
oh,
game against City.
Oh, God. You play them in the league,
That game's gonna be
it's
massive.
going to be a 1-1 draw just to make it extend. And the title race goes
Yeah.
to the very last day, which, actually, I saw a TikTok about this. If Liverpool win the rest of their games all the way to the end, and City win the rest of their games all the way to the end, and then they draw each other when they play each other, it can come down to the final day where Manchester City are away at Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard and
Oh,
Philip Coutinho
God.
can win the league for Liverpool. I saw it as like,
That's actually really
and the guy
funny.
did like the voiceover of Aguero, but he changed it to Coutinho. It's like 94th minute, Coutinho wins the Premier League for Liverpool. It's like, it
But
could happen.
Grealish plays for City though, and Grealish probably has some mates at Villa.
Steven Gerrard wins it for Liverpool. Come on.
I just hope Liverpool can beat Manchester City and then
Yeah.
be able to turn around. I think City are a little nervous about it because they had such a big lead
Mhm.
over Liverpool,
Yeah.
and now
Liverpool came out swinging, and Manchester City they've been not great.
The other 2 Champions League games you should mention, like, I know we talked about, but Bayern Munich, Villarreal, on paper should go one way. Villarreal did upset Juventus, but Bayern Munich are definitely a different animal than
Alfonso
Juventus.
is
He's
coming back.
Yeah.
He could be back for the second leg, apparently.
And Chelsea, Real Madrid. Tasty.
Match last year's semifinal.
I like it.
We'll see
I
if
like
Real
Real
Madrid
Madrid.
have learned a thing or two about Thomas Tuchel.
I like Real Madrid. I think they can knock them out.
They lost.
Chelsea haven't been incredible lately.
Are you saying that El Clasico disaster is just a one-off?
That was.
I don't know what happened to El Clasico.
That was
Well,
something.
Real Madrid played Luka Modric as a false nine.
Yeah.
When they had Jovic and other strikers on the bench,
Gareth Bale just doesn't make an appearance at all.
they just
Garrett, he was saving himself for Wales.
He's just saving himself for golf. Midweek golf. I think Real Madrid have a good squad, and I think they can beat Chelsea. But Chelsea also on their day have the ability to beat a Real Madrid.
been a good cup team. They've definitely
Yeah.
can. They definitely have a good game plan, and if it continues, great defenders, great players all over the pitch.
Champions League is always fun to watch. I'm happy that there's teams like Benfica and Villarreal at this stage.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else?
There was one more. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because it was about the 5 subs, and then there was one more thing that I wanted to mention, but then I
Didn't come prepared?
no, I just I had it and then I forgot, but I apologize. I don't know.
Like,
Whatever.
look at
I don't
this,
have it.
all these fucking people. England's route to the final in Qatar. Like,
Does Brazil and France, when would they meet each other?
I don't know.
this is England. If England top their group, they will face Group A runners up, which could be Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, or Netherlands. And quote, if they somehow slip into second place in their group, they could face Group A winners, which would be Senegal or the Dutch. So what? You already decided that Group A is going to be Senegal or the Dutch?
They've already decided
I
the
hate
group.
this. And then quarterfinals, England would play either the winner of Group D or runners up of Group C, which would be either France or Argentina. Like
You never know.
they've made the entire route to the final.
Maybe the fans will make Harry Maguire not show up. Though I mean, you never know.
They're
with that.
booing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and then the player Spurs even said, "Do not condone booing Harry Maguire."
Why did Spurs get involved? What
It's
the
all
hell
the
does Spurs
English
have to do?
because they love England.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
You think
honestly, it is dumb for him. What he does, he actually did for that Euro squad, and then just because he's bad for a club, why would the country him
because
for that?
he
It's-
shouldn't
it's
be
just-
there.
Oh, unless
Tomori should be there.
Maguire is good for England.
He does well for England.
So what does England do different? Can someone send a telegraph to Ralph, please? Like, hey, figure your shit out.
Might also help that he's not the captain. That actually could make a difference. But I don't know.
That's not could be a
But also, wasn't it actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wasn't it just Manchester United fans booing him just because there's just so many of them?
Talking about Spurs, Lucas, will Antonio Conte be there next season?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm asking your
If
opinion.
they make Champions League for sure, because that's what he said. He's like, oh, it'll be amazing. if
He's
they make
not
Champions
a manager that likes to stick around.
Not a manager that doesn't like sticking around when things aren't going his way because it makes
Yeah.
his reputation look bad, even though people see his reputation as being the guy that leaves.
League. He seems like he's having fun though. It's been an interesting
just
time
likes
at Spurs.
celebrating
So
goals, let's
it's
be
been an
real.
interesting time at Spurs.
Who's the all or nothing documentary about this year?
Arsenal.
Ha!
Is it?
Actually,
I
that'd
mean,
be
actually,
actually
yeah,
watch,
that's-
'cause it
yeah.
started off and now it's like whoof. Yeah.
Mikel will be, well, especially with Aubameyang. Actually,
Yeah,
that's actually very interesting.
If they show it,
I'm sure they will.
They must.
I mean, the Spurs one they barely mentioned Poch sacking. Basically, just was the Mourinho show.
Hey, my favorite part of the Tottenham all or nothing was Danny Rose thinking he could play for Juventus. I went, "Are you dumb?" Like, we have 2 offers on the table. One is Newcastle. Oh, I want to play for a club like Juventus. Pardon? You're Danny Rose. Like, where's he at now?
Watford.
Ah, good fucking job, Daniel. Dumb.
Or can't back himself.
Be realistic.
Anyways, I think that's a good time to end the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed going breaking down the World Cup groups, and of course,
We're
We
super
will do
excited.
more World Cup content as it gets closer. It's a long, long ways away.
The draw was today. We had to.
We had to,
It
yeah.
was. I think we're all excited. Who shouldn't be excited?
Italians, people from Iceland, Turks, maybe Turks and Caicos. That's who.
Burak,
Man.
don't miss pens.
Burak! Listen, if you have watched this on YouTube, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your support there. If you have listened to us on any and all audio apps, Spotify, Apple, anything else, thank you very, very much. We don't give you guys enough love on the audio apps, but thank you. We really do appreciate it.
If you're still here, I'm
Give a
listening.
like, give a subscribe, give a share, whatever the hell else. From Gregory, from Lucas, from myself, Liam, and the rest of the 90th minute.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
That was my line.